Hello everyone, Mr. Creepy as Hell here. Before we get started with this video, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you cut on all notification bells as well to make sure you get notified whenever I release a new video. Also, if you enjoy this video, please like and share. It really helps me out. And one more thing, when you're watching my videos,
make sure you keep all the lights on.
every time I hear the name Susan, I think about that woman who I called a friend, that woman who messed up everything, who wreaked so much havoc on my life and on my other friend's life. You really have to be careful about who you call your friends or who you can trust. I had to learn it the hard way. I'm Andy, and this happened to me when I was 18 years old. I just began college. I was getting ready to go to one of my classes, a class that I was majoring in, and that's when I met her, Susan. It was a seat right next to her that I chose. That's how I met her. Hi, Susan. Andy, we introduced ourselves. So I'm guessing you're going for your associates, huh? Yeah, I am. Well, I wish you luck. Hope you get that associate degree. Thanks. You too as well. After we got done talking, class began, and we studied for about an hour. After the day was done with, one of my friends was hosting a little party. It was a party to start the semester. There was gonna be drinks, lots of fun, food, dancing, and all of that. I was immediately invited because I knew probably about half of the people at the party. The party started at 9 p.m., but I had to work at Taco Bell. But my shift was very short. It was just from 5 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. As I was on my shift, I noticed that Susan came in. She looked at me with wide eyes and walked over to me. Well, isn't this a coincidence? I didn't know you work here. Yeah, I work here. I mean, bills gotta be paid and classes have to be paid for. So, you came here to order? Sure. After Susan ordered her food, she sat down by a booth that was by the window in the corner of the restaurant. As I was getting things together and wiping down the counters, I noticed that she was sitting there just eating. She looked like she was a little lonely or sad. I couldn't really read her expression. So I decided to ask her a question. Hey Susan, quick question. Do you have any plans for tonight? No, not really. I'm just gonna eat here, head back to my place. I caught up on my homework and everything, so I guess I'm just gonna get into bed and watch some movies on Netflix until I fall asleep. Guess. Not really a fun night, she said to me while trying to fake being happy, but I could tell in her voice she was a little down and lonely. So that's when I asked her, so one of my friends is actually throwing a party. It's I guess start of the semester party for college students. Anyone is invited if you want to go. You can say I invite you. Get dressed and have a good time. There'll be alcohol, games, food. You know, you'll love it. You can mingle, get to know people, make new friends. Wow, that sounds great. So what time does the party start? Oh, it starts at 9:30. Yeah, I don't mind going. I mean, it beats sitting around watching Netflix all night. After that, Susan went on to eat her food. I got back to work. 9:30 came and I clocked out. I went into my apartment that wasn't too far from campus and I got myself together and I made my way to the party. The party took place at a big mansion that one of my friends rented. I guess you can say it was an Airbnb. The house or the mansion had a pool where I saw a bunch of college students swimming in and out and having fun. I got into the party and I met up with some of my friends. We were drinking and having a good time. And then I saw Susan. She came into the party. She looked a little bit nervous and a little on edge. So I came up to her and I asked her, hey, what's up? You liking the party so far? You look a little bit tense. Relax, chill out. Come on, have a good time. Tell you what, let me get you something to drink. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's my first time being at a huge party. Yeah, appreciate you offering me a drink. I ditched my friends for a bit as me and Susan were talking. We were enjoying the vibe of the party. We were laughing, drinking, and just talking. I remember the liquor really hitting, and I think it was hitting for Susan as well. We began to talk, and then our talking turned into flirtatious little remarks. Let's just say one thing led to another, and it led to us going upstairs, finding an empty room, and you get the picture. The next morning, me and Susan woke up hungover. Our heads were pounding. I let my friend know who rented the Airbnb that I was going to be staying overnight with someone. Of course, he didn't have a problem with that. Matter of fact, he was much more happy to the fact that I had gotten laid, as he likes to say it. But at that moment, I knew I was going to regret my decision. And looking back on it now, I really wish I've never, ever took things that far with Susan. A few days later, after the party, I texted Susan and I told her that I apologized for coming on to her, but she kept on insisting that she was also coming on to me and that it was mutual. But I told her that it would never happen again because honestly, I wasn't looking to hop in any relationship. I think that was just a spur of the moment thing because we were at the party and we were drunk. But I told her that I wasn't looking to get in any type of relationship and that we should remain friends. She didn't respond for about 30 minutes, and when she did, she responded with okay. But how she put it was, it had 3 dots in the word okay. I paid no mind to it. I went to my classes, and I went on with my day. After I left my classes, I head to work. Everything at work was fine, and then I made my way back to my apartment. As I was about to walk in to my apartment, I noticed that the front door was slightly ajar. I slowly opened the door, and I grabbed out a pocket knife that I had. I figured that whoever it wasn't no one too dangerous because where I lived at, it was a very safe side of town. I walked slowly into my apartment. Hello? Anyone in here? Hey, look, whoever is in here, you're trespassing. I'm letting you know if you don't get out of here right now, I'm gonna call the police. I turned around because I heard some noises and I noticed that my room door was slightly ajar. I went in there and I opened it and I almost had a heart attack. Laying in my bed, completely naked, was Susan. Surprise? I thought maybe I'd surprise you by coming over to your place, maybe for round 2. How did you know where I live? And look, Susan, what happened was a one-time thing. Okay, put your clothes on and just, oh my God. Susan, no, we're not doing this. Put your clothes on, please. I said to her, furious and confused, as well as startled, still getting over a shock that not only did she get into my house, but she knew where I live. When she put on her clothes, I asked her, how did you know where I live, Susan? Okay, don't get creeped out. I kind of followed you, so I figured that you lived here, and I saw that you had an extra key under your mat. I thought maybe I'll just come in and surprise you. No harm done. No harm done? You broke into my house, Susan. Look, I made a huge mistake by doing what we did last night, and I should have never entertained it. I think maybe you're getting the idea that there's more to us than being friends. Maybe I should just keep my distance. I apologize. It was wrong for me to do that and to lead you on, but you gotta go. Now, please, get out. But I thought you liked me, so you just used me? Just like men. Get what they want, and they toss you aside like a piece of meat, Susan said as she grabbed her stuff and walked it out of my apartment while slamming the door. I sat down on my couch, breathing and puffing, sitting there thinking that I make a mistake by doing what I did to her at the party. We were both drunk and we were both probably in the moment, but looking back on this, it was becoming a problem, and not knowing that it was going to get worse. The next day when I went to my classes, I was about to walk into the class where I was getting my associate's degree, but I got stopped by one of my friends, and he told me something that left my jaws on the ground, and it left me feeling kind of embarrassed and angry at Susan. So apparently, he showed me a video where she accused me of taking advantage of her the night of the party, where she was wasted and she didn't remember what happened. When I heard this, Everyone was staring at me. Some people have already made up their minds about me. People were calling me names, telling me how could I take advantage of such a lovely woman. I was getting called a monster, a predator, everything that you can imagine. I was angry at Susan because what happened between us was consensual. And then I remembered the professor telling me that he couldn't let me come into the class due to this circling around. I looked and I saw Susan. She looked at me and smiled. I was angry and I wanted to say something to her, but I knew if I said anything, it would have made my situation much worse. And not to mention, I'm already in hot water. I had to talk with the director of the college campus that I was attending, and I tried to plead with him that what was said about me was not true, and what we did was very consensual, but the director did not want to hear me. I was about to give up when my friend Max came in. He had his phone with him. He had a video of the party last night where Susan accused me of not having consensual relationships with her, and the video shows where she was pulling me upstairs, and not to mention she kept on coming on to me. Therefore, that was all the proof that I needed. The director looked at it and he told me that I was good to stay. I was very relieved. A couple of days later, word got out that Susan falsely accused me, and everyone was very upset at Susan, and it got to the point that she decided to drop out of class because she got a lot of death threats, and a lot of people were sending her hate messages through email. And not to mention the few friends that she made, they didn't want anything to do with her. 6 months later, I had forgotten about Susan. I was focusing on college and everything was going well. It wasn't until I got back to my apartment that something felt kind of wrong. I don't know what it was, but something was just off. I had a feeling that someone was in my apartment or had been in my apartment. After the incident with Susan and everything, I moved to a new apartment. It was still close to my campus, and I figured that she wouldn't figure out where I live because from what I heard, she moved to a different state. But when I got into my apartment, the atmosphere felt different. It felt like someone was just rambling through my stuff. Even though everything was in place, it just felt like there was a presence here. I chalked it up as me being paranoid, maybe having lingering memories about Susan. I was about to walk into the bathroom to splash some water on my face when the bathroom door suddenly just swung open, and that was the last thing I remember. When I woke up, I remember being tied up to my bed, and standing over me was Susan. She had a big, unnatural grin that was dripping with malice. I could tell that she was going to do something to me, and it wasn't going to be pretty. I knew I was about to suffer. She didn't say anything. That's what made it more creepier. She just stood there and just smiled. She smiled at me for about 5 to 10 minutes. It was nerve-wracking. I couldn't even mutter one word. It's like I wanted to say something, and I know I was about to, but the minute it comes out my throat and heads to my mouth, it just falls out. The words could not come out. I was just paralyzed with fear. This wasn't the Susan that I know. There was something wrong with her. Something was different with her. She looked crazy, psychotic. She looked like she could snap at any moment. My phone was in the other room, so I couldn't call for help. I was stuck. I was at her mercy. You ruined everything for me. But I'm not mad, Andy. I'll make up for it if you kiss me and you acknowledge me as your girlfriend. Don't lie. When we had that party, you had something for me. You had feelings for me. I know you did. So just be honest. Just tell everyone that you had feelings for me. Look, I'm so sorry I lied and told everyone that you took advantage of me. You didn't. Alright, you didn't. Alright, I love you. I just wanted you. You don't realize what you're missing out on. Come on, Andy. Susan, I think you need help. This isn't normal, okay? You have me tied up to the bed. You assaulted me. Look, if you get you some help, I won't press charges against you. I pleaded with her, but that seemed to set her off. Charges? I'm your girlfriend. Why would you want to press charges against me? I didn't do anything to you. I only tied you down because I just want to make love to you. That's all I want. You don't love me, do you? Clearly it's someone else in your life, huh? It's okay. I can't have you. That's fine. I'll just kill you. Instead, Susan then began to pull out a long knife. She got on top of me, and she put the knife up to my neck. And then she moved it away, and as she was about to jab it inside of my chest, that's when Max, my friend, came in and knocked her out. Everything else was a blur. I remember a whole bunch of officers were inside my apartment. I remember being unwrapped from the restraints that Susan put on me, and I was lifted inside of an ambulance. I didn't really have any injuries. I only got a small concussion. It took me a couple of days to recover, but once I did, I was well enough to go to court and to testify and tell the world what Susan done to me. I remember that they were trying to get her to get a 20-year sentence, but instead, they took her to a psychiatric hospital instead. They believed that she had some mental health issues. And to be honest with you, I did agree. I didn't hate Susan. I just didn't want her near me until she got the help that she needed. Even though she was going to be put into a mental health hospital when she comes out, because I know she will, I still don't want her nowhere near me. The situation that happened left me a bit shaken, and it's made it hard for me to make new friends. I have a very hard time trusting people, and it has messed up my dating life as well. I haven't been on a date in a while. I'm too afraid that I'm going to encounter a woman just like Susan. The only advice I can give you is don't be quick to call someone your friend. See who they are first. They'll eventually show their true colors.